First contact. The vast expanse of space had always held humanity's imagination captive, but on that fateful day in 2157, it became clear that we were no longer alone in the universe. It began with a series of anomalous readings picked up by the Lunar Observatory, strange energy fluctuations that defied explanation. Dr. Ilara Kincaid, the lead astrophysicist at the observatory, squinted at her holographic display, her brow furrowed in concentration. "This can't be right," she muttered, running a hand through her short silver hair. "Marcus, are you seeing this?" Her assistant, Marcus Chen, nodded, his young face a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "It's like nothing we've ever encountered before, Dr. Kincaid. The energy signature is off the charts." Before Ilara could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. The observatory's massive array of telescopes swiveled in unison, focusing on a single point in space just beyond Mars' orbit. There, shimmering into existence like a mirage in the desert, appeared a massive object. "Oh my God," Ilara breathed, her eyes wide with wonder and fear. "It's a ship." The alien vessel was unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. It seemed to defy the laws of physics, its sleek, crystalline structure pulsing with an inner light that shifted through colors beyond human perception. As they watched, smaller craft began to emerge from the mothership, their movements graceful and precise. Within hours, the news had spread across Earth like wildfire. Governments scrambled to respond, militaries went on high alert, and the populace oscillated between panic and awe. In New York, the United Earth Council convened an emergency session to determine humanity's next move. Admiral Zara Okoro, the highest-ranking military officer in the UEC, stood before the assembled leaders, her dark skin glistening with sweat under the harsh lights. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation, "we are facing a moment that will define our species. These visitors possess technology far beyond our own. We must proceed with caution." Council President Yuki Tanaka nodded, her aged face etched with concern. "What do you propose, Admiral?" Before Okoro could respond, a young diplomat named Raj Patel spoke up. "With all due respect, shouldn't we attempt communication before considering any military action? This could be our chance to join a larger galactic community." Murmurs rippled through the chamber, but they were cut short as every screen in the room flickered to life. The alien ship had begun broadcasting a message, not just to the Council, but to every communication device on Earth. A figure appeared on the screens, humanoid in shape but clearly alien. Its skin shimmered like polished opal, and its eyes were pools of swirling galaxies. When it spoke, the words seemed to bypass their ears and materialize directly in their minds. "People of Earth," the alien intoned, its mental voice a mixture of curiosity and condescension. "We are the Confederation of Celestial Spheres, guardians of order in this sector of the galaxy. Your civilization has reached a level of development that can no longer be ignored. We have come to assess your worthiness to join the greater galactic community." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices, but President Tanaka raised her hand for silence. "We welcome you to our system," she responded, her voice trembling slightly. "We are honored by your interest in our civilization and eager to learn more about the galactic community." The alien's expression remained impassive. "Honor has nothing to do with it, human. Your species has developed faster than any we have encountered in millennia. This presents both opportunity and risk. We must determine if you are ready for the responsibilities that come with advanced knowledge." Admiral Okoro stepped forward, her military training kicking in. "And how do you propose to make this determination?" The alien's eyes seemed to focus on Okoro, and she felt a chill run down her spine. "A series of trials," it replied. "Tests to measure your species' intelligence, adaptability, and most importantly, your potential for destruction or creation. The stakes are simple. Pass, and you will be welcomed as equals. Fail, and your civilization will be contained." The implications of that last word hung heavy in the air. Raj Patel, ever the optimist, spoke up again. And if we refuse to participate in these trials? For the first time, the alien's expression changed, its lips curling into what might have been a smile. Young one, you misunderstand. The trials have already begun. Your responses here and now are part of our assessment. Choose wisely, for every action from this moment forward will determine the fate of your species. With that, the transmission cut off, leaving the council in stunned silence. Admiral Okoro was the first to recover, her military mind already analyzing the situation. "Madam President," she said, turning to Tanaka, "I recommend we accept their challenge. We can't risk the alternative." Tanaka nodded slowly, the weight of her decision visible in the slump of her shoulders. "Agreed. But we'll need more than just military might to face these trials. We need our best and brightest from every field." "I have an idea," Raj interjected, his mind racing. "What if we assembled a team? A group representing the best of humanity. Scientists, diplomats, soldiers, artists, a microcosm of our species to face whatever challenges they throw at us." The idea took hold, spreading through the council like a spark in dry tinder. Within hours, Operation Cosmic Crucible was born. As governments around the world mobilized their resources, a call went out to the furthest corners of the globe, seeking those who could represent humanity in its greatest trial. Dr. Ilara Kincaid found herself pulled from her observatory and thrust into the heart of the operation. Her understanding of astrophysics and the anomalies surrounding the alien arrival made her invaluable. Joining her was Marcus Chen, whose quick thinking and adaptability had caught the attention of the selection committee. Admiral Okoro took charge of the military aspect, handpicking the team of elite soldiers led by Captain Aisha Kazemi, a decorated veteran known for her unorthodox tactics. Raj Patel, whose quick wit had impressed even the alien visitor, was tasked with heading the diplomatic efforts. Rounding out the core team were Dr. Yannick Durand, a brilliant xenobiologist eager to study the alien physiology, and Zara Okoji, a renowned artist whose creations had stirred emotions across cultural boundaries. As the team assembled at a secret facility in the Rockies, tension hung in the air like a tangible force. They had mere days to prepare for trials that would determine the fate of their entire species. The weight of that responsibility was etched on every face. Ilara stood before the assembled group, her scientific detachment warring with the very human fear in her gut. "We don't know what these trials will entail," she began, her voice steadied despite her anxiety. "But we do know this. Humanity has faced countless challenges throughout our history, and we've always found a way to persevere. We've split the atom, cured diseases, and reached for the stars. Now we must reach further than ever before." Raj nodded, adding, "We're not just fighting for our survival, but for our place in a universe far grander than we ever imagined. This is our chance to show that humanity deserves to be part of that greater galactic community." Captain Kazemi, her scared face a testament to battles fought and won, spoke up. "Whatever they throw at us, we'll face it head-on. Humanity doesn't back down from a challenge." As the team delved into their preparations, studying every scrap of data they had on the alien visitors, a sense of cautious optimism began to grow. They were stepping into the unknown, facing trials beyond imagination, but they would do so together, carrying the hopes and dreams of their entire species. Little did they know that the true nature of the trials would test not just their skills and knowledge, but the very essence of what it meant to be human. As the alien ship loomed in the sky, a silent reminder of the stakes at hand, humanity stood on the brink of a new era. The cosmic crucible was about to begin, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. The challenge. As the first rays of dawn broke over the Rocky Mountains, the assembled team of humanity's finest stood on the landing pad of their secret facility. The air was crisp and tense with anticipation. Above them, the alien mothership hung in the sky like a second moon, its crystalline surface refracting the morning light in dazzling patterns. Dr. Ilara Kincaid checked her equipment one last time, her hand steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Remember," she addressed the team, "we have no idea what to expect. Stay alert and don't make any assumptions based on our own scientific understanding. These beings operate on a level we can barely comprehend." Captain Aisha Kazemi nodded, her hand resting on the advanced pulse rifle at her hip. "And don't forget, we're not just representing ourselves here. Every action we take could have consequences for all of humanity." Before anyone could respond, a beam of light shot down from the alien ship, enveloping the team. There was a moment of weightlessness, a flash of impossible colors, and suddenly they found themselves in an environment utterly alien to human experience. The chamber they stood in defied Euclidean geometry, its walls shifting and flowing like liquid metal. The air, if it could be called that, felt thick and alive, carrying scents and sensations beyond human perception. At the center of the room stood the alien being they had seen in the transmission, its opalescent skin now rippling with patterns that seemed to convey emotions beyond their understanding. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," the aliens' thoughts resonated in their minds. "I am Zixkar, Arbiter of the Confederation. You stand in the Hall of Trials, where countless species have been tested throughout the eons. Some have ascended to join us among the stars. Others have been found wanting." Raj Patel stepped forward, his diplomatic training kicking in despite the surreal surroundings. "We are honored to represent our species, Arbiter Zixkar. We come with open minds and peaceful intentions." The alien's eyes swirled with cosmic depths. "Intentions are irrelevant here, young one. Only actions and outcomes matter. Your trials begin now." Suddenly, the chamber transformed. The team found themselves standing on what appeared to be an asteroid, hurtling through space toward a populated planet. Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing a complex array of gravitational fields, solar winds, and debris fields. Zixkar's voice echoed in their minds. "Your first trial is one of preservation. This asteroid's trajectory will result in an extinction-level impact on the planet Nixia, home to a pre-spaceflight civilization of great potential. You have one planetary rotation to alter its course, using only the resources available on the asteroid itself. Fail, and billions will perish." The gravity of the situation hit them like a physical force. Dr. Kincaid immediately began analyzing the holographic data, her mind racing through calculations. "The mass is too great for conventional deflection methods," she muttered. "We need to think outside the box." Marcus Chin, his eyes darting between the displays, suddenly snapped his fingers. "What if we don't need to deflect it? What if we could disintegrate it instead?" Captain Kazemi raised an eyebrow. "With what? We don't have any weapons that could vaporize something this size." "Not weapons," Marcus grinned, "but look at the asteroid's composition. It's rich in volatile compounds. If we could trigger a chain reaction." Dr. Yannick Durant caught on, his eyes lighting up. "A chemical detonation on a massive scale. It's brilliant, but incredibly risky. One miscalculation, and we could turn this asteroid into a shotgun blast of planet-killing debris." As the team debated the merits of the plan, Zara Okoji, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "I think you're all missing something important. Look at the planet itself." They turned to the holographic image of Nixia. At first glance, it seemed like a typical life-bearing world, swirling with blues and greens. But as they looked closer, they noticed strange patterns in its atmosphere, unnatural symmetries in its continental shapes. Ilara's eyes widened. "It's not real," she breathed. "The planet, the civilization, it's all a simulation." Zixkar's presence loomed over them, its thoughts tinged with what might have been approval. "Very perceptive, human. Indeed, this scenario is a construct. But the choices you make and their consequences are very real." Raj stepped forward again, his mind racing. "This isn't just about saving a planet, is it? You're testing our decision-making process, our values." "Correct," the alien arbiter confirmed. How a species approaches a crisis reveals much about their nature. Will you risk everything on a daring plan? Sacrifice the few to save the many? Or perhaps you'll uncover a solution we haven't anticipated. The team huddled together, time ticking away as they debated their options. Finally, Ilara stepped forward. "We choose not to act," she declared, her voice steady. A ripple of surprise passed through the alien's form. "Explain." "This scenario is designed to test our response to an immediate threat," Ilara continued. "But it's a false dilemma. In reality, a civilization capable of detecting such a threat would have far more time to prepare. By refusing to act on incomplete information in a contrived scenario, we demonstrate our commitment to measured, informed decision-making." There was a moment of tense silence. Then, to their shock, Zixkar began to emit a sound that could only be described as laughter. "Fascinating," the alien mused. "In all our years of testing, no species has ever refused to engage with the scenario itself. You humans continue to surprise us." The asteroid and the imperiled planet faded away, leaving them once again in the shifting chamber. "You have passed the first trial," Zixkar announced. "But do not celebrate yet. This was merely the beginning." As the alien spoke, the chamber began to transform once more. This time, they found themselves in what appeared to be a vast library, stretching infinitely in all directions. Texts in countless alien languages floated through the air, and strange devices hummed with unknowable energies. "Your second trial," Zixkar intoned, "is one of knowledge and wisdom. Before you lies the accumulated knowledge of 1,000,000 civilizations. You have the equivalent of one Earth day to study and learn. At the end of that time, you will face a series of questions. The nature of these questions is unknown, but they will determine whether your species is intellectually prepared to join the galactic community." The team exchanged glances, the enormity of the task before them sinking in. How could they possibly hope to assimilate even a fraction of this cosmic library in such a short time? Raj's diplomatic instincts kicked in once again. "Arbiter Zixkar, may I ask a question before we begin?" The alien's swirling eyes focused on him. "You may." "In your vast experience, has any species ever successfully completed this trial?" There was a pause, and for a moment, the team thought they detected a hint of sadness in the alien's mental voice. "No, young one. No species has ever fully succeeded in this trial. Many have gained great knowledge, but at a terrible cost." Captain Kazemi's eyes narrowed. "What kind of cost?" "Madness," Zixkar replied simply. "The weight of cosmic knowledge has shattered many minds. Others have lost their sense of self, their connection to their own kind. And some have gained knowledge they were not ready for, leading their civilizations down paths of destruction." The team fell silent, the gravity of the situation weighing heavily upon them. They had to find a way to navigate this cosmic library without losing themselves in the process. Dr. Durand was the first to speak. "We need a strategy. We can't possibly learn everything, so we need to be selective." Marcus nodded enthusiastically. "What if we each focus on a different area? We could cover more ground that way." "No," Ilara said firmly. "That's exactly what they expect us to do. But remember, we're not here as individuals. We represent humanity as a whole." Zara Okoji, who had been quietly observing the floating texts, suddenly smiled. "I think I understand. This isn't about how much we can learn. It's about how we approach knowledge itself." The team gathered around her as she explained her insight. As they listened, a plan began to form, a uniquely human approach to the vast repository of cosmic wisdom before them. For the next 24 hours, they worked tirelessly, not to memorize facts or master alien technologies, but to understand the patterns of knowledge itself. They studied how different civilizations organized information, the common threads that ran through diverse fields of study, and the ethical frameworks that guided the use of advanced sciences. As the deadline approached, they stood together, tired but united. They had not gained the knowledge of a million civilizations, but they had learned something perhaps more valuable: how to approach cosmic wisdom with humility, curiosity, and a uniquely human perspective. Zixcar materialized before them, its form shimmering with anticipation. Your time is up, humans. Are you prepared for the questions that will determine your species' intellectual readiness? Ilara stepped forward, speaking for the group. We are ready, Arbiter. But before you ask your questions, we have a proposition. The alien's form rippled with surprise. Speak. Instead of answering your questions, we propose to ask you one. Ilara said, her voice steady. One question that we believe encapsulates the true lesson of this trial. There was a long pause, the chamber seeming to hold its breath. Finally, Zixcar spoke. In all the eons of this trial, no species has ever proposed such a thing. Your audacity is intriguing. Ask your question, humans. The team exchanged glances, nodding in silent agreement. Then together, they asked the question they had spent the last day formulating. A question that would demonstrate not their mastery of cosmic knowledge, but their understanding of its true value and the wisdom to use it responsibly. As they spoke, the library around them seemed to pulse with energy, and Zixcar's form blazed with a light that was both beautiful and terrifying. The second trial was reaching its climax, and the fate of humanity hung on their next words. Rising tensions. The cosmic library faded away, leaving the team once again in the shifting chamber of the alien vessel. Zixcar's form pulsed with an otherworldly light, its swirling eyes fixed upon the humans before it. The silence stretched for what felt like an eternity. Finally, the alien arbiter spoke, its mental voice resonating with a mixture of surprise and was that respect. In all our millennia of conducting these trials, no species has ever approached the test of knowledge in such a manner. Your question. It reveals a depth of understanding that we did not anticipate. The team exchanged cautious glances, hope and uncertainty warring in their expressions. Raj stepped forward, his diplomatic training kicking in. Does this mean we've passed the second trial, Arbiter Zixcar? The alien's form shimmered, its colors shifting in patterns that defied human comprehension. Passed, perhaps, or perhaps you have simply altered the nature of the test itself. Your species continues to defy our expectations at every turn. Before anyone could respond, the chamber began to transform once more. This time, they found themselves in what appeared to be a vast arena, reminiscent of ancient Roman coliseums, but on a scale that boggled the mind. Surrounding them were countless alien beings of every conceivable form, watching with a mixture of curiosity and anticipation. Zixcar's voice echoed through the arena. You have demonstrated your ability to preserve life and your unique approach to knowledge. Now, you face a trial of a different nature, a test of your species' potential for both creation and destruction. The gravity of the situation settled over the team like a physical weight. Captain Kazani's hand instinctively moved to her weapon, though she knew it would be useless against such advanced beings. What exactly do you mean by creation and destruction? She asked, her voice tense. In response, the arena floor began to shift and change. Before their eyes, a miniature solar system formed, complete with a yellow star and a dozen planets of varying sizes and compositions. This system, Zixcar explained, is a perfect replica of a real star system in a distant part of our galaxy. It is devoid of intelligent life, but rich in resources and potential. Your task is to shape its destiny. Dr. Kincaid's eyes widened as she took in the holographic display. You want us to play God? She asked, her scientific mind already racing with possibilities and ethical concerns. In a manner of speaking, yes, the alien replied. You will have the power to terraform planets, seed life, guide evolution, and if you choose, to destroy. How you shape this system will reveal much about your species' true nature and potential. Marcus Chen, always quick to see the technological implications, spoke up. But we don't have the technology to do any of that. How are we supposed to? He was cut off as strange devices materialized around them. They were unlike anything the team had ever seen, pulsing with energies that seemed to defy the laws of physics as they knew them. These tools, Sixkar explained, represent technologies far beyond your current capabilities. They are simplified for your use, but their power is very real. How you choose to use them is entirely up to you. The team huddled together, the weight of their responsibility settling heavily upon them. They had been given the power to shape an entire solar system, to create life or to destroy it utterly. The implications were staggering. "We need to be careful," Ilara warned. "This isn't just about what we can do, but what we should do. Our actions here could be seen as a reflection of humanity's potential future." Raj nodded in agreement. "We need to find a balance. Show that we have the wisdom to use advanced technology responsibly." As they debated their approach, tension began to rise within the group. Captain Kazemi argued for a more defensive stance, suggesting they focus on creating a system that could withstand external threats. "We need to show that we can protect ourselves and others," she insisted. Dr. Durand, on the other hand, was fascinated by the possibility of seeding and guiding life. "Think of what we could learn about evolution and biodiversity," he exclaimed, his scientific curiosity getting the better of him. Zara Okoji, ever the artist, saw the solar system as a canvas. "We have the chance to create something beautiful," she argued. "A harmonious system that reflects the best of what humanity could be." As the debate heated up, Marcus noticed something odd about the alien spectators. "Guys," he interrupted, "I think we're missing something. Look at the audience." The team paused, turning their attention to the vast crowd of alien beings surrounding them. At first glance, they seemed to be merely observing, but as they looked closer, they noticed subtle shifts in the aliens' postures and expressions. "They're reacting to our debate," Ilara realized. "This isn't just about what we do to the solar system. They're judging how we make our decisions." This revelation added a new layer of complexity to their task. Not only did they have to shape a solar system, but they had to do so in a way that demonstrated humanity's best qualities. With this in mind, they turned back to the holographic display. Over the next few hours, they worked together, combining their diverse skills and perspectives to craft a vision of what a human-influenced solar system might look like. They terraformed planets with care, always mindful of preserving natural beauty and biodiversity. They seeded basic life forms on worlds that could support them, but were careful not to directly interfere with evolution. They set up defensive systems to protect against cosmic threats, but designed them to be non-aggressive. Throughout the process, they made sure to discuss each decision openly, weighing the ethical implications and potential long-term consequences. They disagreed at times, but always found ways to compromise and move forward together. As they worked, they noticed the alien spectators becoming more engaged. Subtle murmurs rippled through the crowd, and even Zixkar seemed to be watching with increased interest. Finally, after what felt like days of work, but could have been mere hours in the strange physics of the alien ship, they stepped back from their creation. Before them floated a solar system teeming with potential, a harmonious blend of natural beauty, burgeoning life, and carefully implemented technology. "We're finished," Ilara announced, turning to face Zixkar. "This is our vision of what humanity could achieve, given the power and the responsibility." The alien arbiter studied their work in silence, its swirling eyes unreadable. The tension in the arena was palpable as everyone waited for the verdict. "Fascinating," Zixkar finally said. "You have created a system of great potential and beauty. But tell me, humans, what would you do if this system were threatened? If a hostile force sought to destroy what you have built?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implication. The team exchanged glances, realizing that the true test might only just be beginning. Captain Kazemi stepped forward, her military mind already analyzing potential threats and strategies. But before she could speak, Raj placed a hand on her shoulder, silently asking for a moment. "Arbiter Zixkar," Raj began, his voice steady. "With all due respect, We reject the premise of your question. A ripple of surprise passed through the alien audience. Even Zixkar's form seemed to flicker with unexpected emotion. Explain, the alien demanded. Raj took a deep breath, feeling the support of his team behind him. The system we've created isn't just a collection of planets and life forms. It's a testament to what we believe humanity can achieve. A balanced, harmonious existence that values life, knowledge, and peaceful coexistence. If such a system were threatened, our response wouldn't be just about defending physical planets. It would be about protecting those ideals. He gestured to the holographic solar system. We've shown that given immense power, we choose to create rather than destroy. We choose to nurture life rather than exploit it. And we choose to build defenses that protect rather than threaten. These choices define us more than any hypothetical response to an imagined threat. The arena fell silent as Raj's words hung in the air. The team stood united behind him, their faces a mixture of pride and determination. They had come to represent humanity, and in this moment, they felt the weight of that responsibility more than ever. Zixkar's form pulsed with energy, its swirling eyes fixed upon the humans before it. When it spoke, its mental voice carried a new tone, one of genuine curiosity. You continue to surprise us, humans, the alien arbiter said. Your approach to these trials has been unlike anything we have seen in eons, but do not think that this is the end. The greatest challenges still lie ahead. With those ominous words, the arena began to fade away. The team found themselves back in the shifting chamber, the memory of their created solar system still vivid in their minds. As they regrouped, preparing for whatever trial might come next, a new tension filled the air. They had passed the tests so far, but at what cost? How much further would they be pushed? And what would be the ultimate consequence of their actions here? Not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. The cosmic crucible was far from over, and the true test of humanity's worth in the galactic community was yet to come. The final test. The shifting chamber of the alien vessel seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, reflecting the mounting tension within the human team. They had faced trials of preservation, knowledge, and creation, each more challenging than the last. But as they stood there, exhausted yet determined, they all sensed that the true test was yet to come. Zixkar's form materialized before them, its opalescent skin rippling with patterns that seemed to convey both approval and apprehension. You have surprised us at every turn, humans. The alien arbiter's thoughts resonated in their minds. Your species has demonstrated qualities we had not anticipated. But now you face your final and most crucial trial. The chamber began to shift once more, but this time, instead of transporting them to a new environment, it seemed to expand infinitely in all directions. The team found themselves floating in what appeared to be the vast expanse of space, surrounded by countless stars and galaxies. Behold, Zixkar's voice echoed through the cosmic void, the universe in all its majesty and terror. Before their eyes, holographic representations of various alien civilizations began to appear. Some were eerily similar to humanity, while others were so bizarre that the human mind could barely comprehend them. Throughout our long history, Zixkar continued, the Confederation has encountered countless species. Some have joined us in harmony, contributing to the greater galactic community. Others, the aliens' form darkened ominously. Others have proved to be threats of unimaginable proportions. Images flashed before them. Entire solar systems reduced to ash, civilizations enslaved or eradicated, cosmic horrors that defied description. The team watched in stunned silence, the weight of what they were witnessing pressing down on them like a physical force. Your final trial, Zixkar announced, is one of judgment and consequences. We will present you with a series of scenarios involving various alien civilizations. For each, you must decide whether to extend the hand of friendship, to contain the potential threat, or to eliminate it entirely. The gravity of the situation hit them like a shockwave. They were being asked to pass judgment on entire species, to potentially condemn civilizations to extinction based on limited information. Captain Kazumi was the first to find her voice. "This is monstrous," she said, her tone a mixture of anger and disbelief. "You're asking us to play God on a cosmic scale." "No," Zixcar corrected, its mental voice tinged with what might have been sadness. "We are asking you to shoulder the burden that comes with being part of a greater galactic community. The power to protect or destroy. The responsibility to make impossible choices for the greater good." Dr. Ilara Kincaid stepped forward, her scientific mind racing to process the implications. "But how can we possibly make such decisions? We don't have enough information, enough context. The consequences of a wrong choice would be unimaginable." Zixcar finished for her. "Yes. Welcome to the reality of cosmic stewardship." The team huddled together, the enormity of the task before them threatening to overwhelm their resolve. "We can't do this," Marcus whispered, his usual enthusiasm replaced by fear. "We're not qualified to make these kinds of decisions." Raj nodded in agreement. "It goes against everything we stand for. We came here to join a galactic community, not to sit in judgment over it." As they debated, the first scenario materialized before them. It showed a warlike species on the brink of achieving faster-than-light travel. Their history was one of constant conflict and expansion. The data suggested a 78% probability that they would become a significant threat to neighboring peaceful civilizations within a century. "You have 3 choices," Zixcar explained. "Extend an invitation to join the Confederation, hoping to guide them towards peace. Contain them within their own star system, limiting their expansion. Or eliminate the threat before it can spread." The team stared at the holographic representation, the weight of countless lives hanging on their decision. How could they possibly choose? As they grappled with the dilemma, Dr. Yannick Duran suddenly spoke up. "Wait a minute. Something about this feels familiar." Zara Okoji nodded slowly, her artist's eye picking up on subtle patterns. "You're right. The way this scenario is presented, the choices we're given, it's not so different from how we treat potentially dangerous animals on Earth." A light of realization dawned in Ilara's eyes, or how a more advanced species might view us. Humanity's history is full of conflict and expansion. From their perspective, we might be seen as a potential threat. The implications of this realization rippled through the team. They weren't just being asked to judge other species, they were being judged themselves. Raj stepped forward, his diplomatic instincts kicking into high gear. "Arbiter Zixcar," he said, his voice steady despite the tension. "We have a question before we proceed." The alien's form shimmered with interest. "Speak. These scenarios, these choices you're presenting us with, are they real? Or are they, like the previous trials, simulations designed to test our responses?" There was a long pause, the cosmic void around them seeming to hold its breath. Finally, Zixcar responded. "Perceptive, humans. Very perceptive. The scenarios are indeed simulations, but they are based on real situations the Confederation has faced over the millennia. Your choices, while not affecting real civilizations, will be taken as indicative of how your species would act given such power and responsibility." The team exchanged glances, a new understanding dawning. This wasn't just about making the right choices, it was about demonstrating humanity's approach to cosmic ethics. With this in mind, they turned back to the first scenario. But instead of simply choosing one of the offered options, they began to discuss, debate, and think outside the confines of the given choices. They proposed diplomatic missions to understand the warlike species better, suggested cultural exchange programs to expose them to alternative ways of life, and discussed the ethical implications of intervention versus non-interference. As they worked through scenario after scenario, they consistently refused to simply pass judgment. Instead, they approached each situation with a commitment to understanding, diplomacy, and finding creative solutions that respected the autonomy of other civilizations, while still addressing potential threats. Throughout their deliberations, they made sure to articulate their reasoning. explaining the human values and ethical considerations that guided their decisions. They acknowledged the complexity of cosmic politics and the potential for unintended consequences, always striving to find balanced solutions that minimized harm and maximized potential for positive growth. Hours passed, or perhaps days. Time seemed to lose meaning in the cosmic void. The team worked tirelessly, their diverse skills and perspectives combining to create a uniquely human approach to galactic diplomacy and conflict resolution. Finally, as they completed the last scenario, Zixkar's form grew to fill their entire field of vision, its swirling eyes studying them with an intensity that was almost palpable. "You have completed the trials, humans," the alien arbiter announced. "But your approach was unlike anything we have seen in all our eons of testing species. You consistently refused to simply judge, contain, or destroy. Instead, you sought to understand, to empathize, to find alternatives." The team stood united, tired but proud of the stance they had taken. Captain Kazemi spoke for all of them when she said, "We cannot and will not appoint ourselves as cosmic executioners. If joining your confederation means compromising our core values, then perhaps we're not ready to join." A ripple of what might have been surprise passed through Zixkar's form. "You would refuse membership in the galactic community." Raj stepped forward, his diplomatic skills put to the ultimate test. "Not refuse, Arbiter, but we would seek to join on terms that allow us to contribute our unique perspective. We believe that true cosmic harmony can only be achieved through understanding, cooperation, and a respect for the diversity of life in all its forms." For a long moment, silence reigned in the cosmic void. The team held their breath, acutely aware that the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Had they just doomed their species to isolation, or worse, or had they demonstrated something that even the ancient Confederation had yet to fully grasp? As they waited for Zixkar's response, the vast expanse of space around them seemed to pulse with potential. The final judgment was at hand, and with it, the future of humanity's place in the cosmos. New galactic order. The cosmic void shimmered, the countless stars and galaxies surrounding them, seeming to hold their breath in anticipation. The human team stood united, their resolve unwavering despite the exhaustion of the trials they had endured. Before them, Zixkar's form pulsed with an energy that defied comprehension, its swirling eyes fixed upon the small group that had come to represent all of humanity. When the alien arbiter finally spoke, its mental voice resonated with a complexity of emotions that the humans could barely grasp. "In all our eons of conducting these trials, never have we encountered a species quite like yours, humans." The team exchanged glances, hope and apprehension warring in their expressions. Dr. Ilara Kincaid stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. "What do you mean, Arbiter? How have we differed from other species you've tested?" Zixkar's form shimmered, and suddenly the void around them was filled with holographic representations of countless alien civilizations. "Most species," the Arbiter explained, "approach these trials with either naive optimism or ruthless pragmatism. They either accept the burden of cosmic judgment without question, or they reject it entirely, often dooming themselves to isolation or destruction." The images shifted, showing the results of various approaches. Civilizations that had joined the Confederation but lost their unique identities, others that had been deemed too dangerous and contained within their own star systems, and some that had been eliminated. "But you," Zixkar continued, its focus returning to the human team, "you questioned the very nature of the trials themselves. You refused to simply accept the roles we presented, instead carving your own path. Your insistence on understanding, on finding alternatives, on respecting the autonomy of other civilizations, while still addressing potential threats. It is an approach we have not seen before." Captain Kazemi's eyes narrowed, her tactical mind assessing the situation. "Are you saying we passed the trials or failed them?" A ripple passed through Zixkar's form, almost like laughter. "Neither, human. Or perhaps both. You have demonstrated qualities that we believe could bring a new perspective to the galactic community. But you have also shown a stubborn refusal to conform to established norms that could be problematic. Raj stepped forward, his diplomatic skills rising to this ultimate challenge. With respect, Arbiter Zixkar, perhaps it's those very established norms that need to be questioned. A truly harmonious galactic community should be able to embrace diverse perspectives and approaches. The alien's swirling eyes focused on Raj, and for a moment, the diplomat felt as if he were being examined down to his very atoms. You propose a radical shift in the cosmic order, human. Are you prepared for the consequences of such a change? Before Raj could respond, Dr. Yannick Duran spoke up, his voice filled with the excitement of scientific discovery. Isn't that what progress is all about? Challenging established norms, pushing boundaries, finding new ways to coexist and thrive. Zara Okoji nodded in agreement, her artist's soul resonating with the idea. Our diversity, our ability to question and adapt, to see beauty in the unknown, these are humanity's greatest strengths. We're not asking to remake the galaxy in our image, but to add our unique colors to its cosmic canvas. For what felt like an eternity, Zixkar remained silent, its form pulsing with energies beyond human comprehension. The team stood firm, united in their conviction that humanity had something valuable to offer the galactic community. Finally, the alien arbiter spoke. Your words carry great weight, humans. They also carry great risk. The established order of the Confederation has maintained peace among countless civilizations for eons. To change it is no small matter. No, Ilara agreed, but sometimes the greatest discoveries, the most profound advancements, come from taking risks, from daring to imagine a different way. Zixkar's form expanded, filling their vision with swirling galaxies and newborn stars. Very well, humans, we have reached a decision. Humanity will be granted provisional membership in the Confederation of Celestial Spheres. A collective breath of relief passed through the team. But Zixkar wasn't finished. However, the Arbiter continued, this membership comes with a unique condition. You will not simply join our existing structures. Instead, you will be tasked with establishing a new division within the Confederation, one focused on diplomatic solutions, on finding alternatives to containment or destruction, on fostering understanding between diverse civilizations. The implications of this pronouncement slowly sank in. They hadn't just secured humanity's place in the galactic community, they had potentially changed the course of cosmic history. This task will not be easy, Zixkar warned. Many within the Confederation will resist change. You will face challenges beyond anything you have encountered in these trials. Are you prepared for this responsibility? The team looked at each other, a silent communication passing between them. Then, as one, they turned back to Zixkar and nodded. We are, Raj said, speaking for all of humanity. We accept this honor and this challenge. With those words, the cosmic void around them began to shift and change. The star-filled emptiness was replaced by a grand chamber, filled with alien beings of every conceivable form. They stood on a platform, facing what appeared to be a cosmic senate. Zixkar's voice echoed through the chamber, announcing humanity's unique position to the assembled representatives of the Confederation. There were murmurs of surprise, skepticism, and in some cases, outright opposition. As the team prepared to address this galactic assembly, to begin the monumental task of reshaping cosmic diplomacy, they felt the weight of their responsibility more than ever. They were no longer just representing humanity, but standing for a new way of approaching the challenges of a vast and complex universe. The road ahead would be difficult, filled with obstacles and setbacks. But as they stood there, on the threshold of a new era for both humanity and the galactic community, they were filled with a sense of hope and determination. For in this moment, humanity had proven that it had something unique and valuable to offer the cosmos. Their journey through the cosmic crucible had not just been a test of their worth, but a demonstration of their potential to bring positive change on a truly universal scale. As they stepped forward to address the Galactic Assembly, the team knew that this was just the beginning. The real work of building understanding, fostering cooperation, and finding peaceful solutions to cosmic challenges was just beginning. But they were ready for it, armed with the very qualities that had brought them this far: curiosity, compassion, creativity, and an unwavering belief in the potential for growth and positive change. The cosmic tale of humanity was entering a new chapter, one that would be written across the stars themselves. And though the challenges ahead were great, the promise of a more harmonious, diverse, and vibrant galactic community made it all worthwhile. As the assembly hall filled with the voices of countless alien species, the human team stood tall, ready to embark on their greatest adventure yet, shaping the future of the cosmos itself.